Well, the baby bunnies are getting older and it's just almost time to get the nest box out of the cage. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. Today, we're looking at the baby rabbits again. If you guys have been following along, you know I've got a little bit of problems with the doe. She's a little bit aggressive, but what I want to talk about today is that the baby rabbits are getting a little bit older. They don't really use the nest box that much. I've covered this in other videos on how to, when it's time to get your nest box out of the cage. I better back away from this cage a little bit. It's kind of freaking her out. So she's just super skittish. Anyway, I figured it was time to readdress this topic once more because I've got a lot of new subscribers and it's a pretty common question that comes up. Now, lots of people will take their nest box when the babies start getting out. They're usually about 10 days old, somewhere right around in there when they start getting out of the nest box. And a lot of people will turn it on its side so the babies still have a place to get inside, but the mother can get up on top of the nest box and get out of the way of the babies. So basically give her a break from the babies. I've never found that necessary. I find most of my rabbits are pretty content hanging out with their babies. A lot of times I'll come out here if she doesn't know I'm here. She's laying in the cage and the babies are kind of crawling all over and she just seems perfectly fine with it, no problems whatsoever. Sometimes she's kicking them off when they're trying to nurse and she doesn't want them to, but it doesn't seem to really bother her too much, so I don't worry about it too much. So really what it comes down to is when the babies start getting out, again, 10 days, for the first day or two, I'll put them back in the nest box whenever I find them outside of it. And then usually after that, they can get in and out on their own. It's not something I have to worry about. And that's where they're at right now. They can get in and out of this nest box all they want. So I just watch their behavior and they tell me when it's time to pull the nest box out. These guys are going on about 3 weeks old right now and just cute little baby bunnies here. They're not real too skittish or too shy. They're doing all right. Most of the time when I come out here, they're out of the nest box and they're roaming around the cage. They're in the feed dish here eating feed. They're going over and getting a drink of water. They're just roaming around the cage. But they still do get in the nest box quite a bit in the evening. And sometimes I'll come out here and I'll find them all snuggled in there just asleep. So I'm leaving it in there for a couple more days, but it's getting pretty close to where we won't need it in there at all. They've basically whenever they start staying outside of the nest box more than they're in the nest box, then it's time to go ahead and just pull the nest box out of there and give them some more cage space to get around in, and they'll appreciate that. But again, it's wintertime here. It's been pretty cold, so I'm going to leave it in there for a couple more days. 3 weeks to 4 weeks is usually about the time that they end up not needing anymore, and I pull it out. So really, any day now, probably by the end of next week, this nest box is going to come out of here. So let me bring you in close though. We'll show you just a close-up shot of these babies and show you how they're doing. Well, they're all hiding behind the nest box right now, but you can see a couple of them over here. And you can see they're not too skittish. Now she'll come up here and throw a fit if she sees me doing this, but they're not too skittish. They're pretty mellow. They don't mind me being around at all. I'm glad to see that she didn't pass that trait on to them, or it doesn't appear to anyway. Hey there. And you can see them hopping in and out of the nest box whenever they want to. So, well, hopefully that clears a few things up for you. You kind of get an idea. Again, just watch your rabbits. They'll tell you when it's time, when they don't need it anymore. They'll start hanging out outside the nest box most of the time. Right now, mine are doing it about 50% of the time. When they get up to about 75% of the time, the nest box just comes out. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, God bless.